Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Oh, yes, this is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. You know, when you're sort of out in a park or something, or on a football pitch, and it's very hot and dusty, and then it rains, and then after there's that kind of dusty smell, and it's like a smell, but it's also like you can't breathe with it. You know that? I'm not going to talk about it, I just want to know what you know, and then if I establish what you know early on, then I can pitch the tone of the whole show. It's basically research.
This is Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
Frank, we've had a text in already from Jane, who was thanking you for your first link.
Who are you?
She says...
Hold on, I haven't introduced you. In my opinion, you don't exist in a way. I'm with Emily and Gareth this morning. We're on Absolute Radio. I think that's all you need to know. No, just let's relax. Let's do the formals.
OK. Are they out the way with?
Yes.
He's very
Someone
formal.
has texted us on 8, 12, 15, which you are all welcome to do.
What's happened? He's gone all formal this week. This is from Jane. Thank you. I was brought up in the Lake District where it rains all the time.
Yeah.
So I only smelt it on holiday in France after storms. I love it. It's evocative. But when I say it, people look at me like I'm mad. There you
Well,
go.
you're not mad, because it is evocative, so you're right. And it's just good. Someone from the Lake District knows the word evocative. I thought you'd just know words like fen and flint.
Hi, Frank.
Hi. We're not getting that formal.
I was going to read the...
Oh, sorry.
I'm the guy in the purple polo shirt.
Yeah, well, in a way, we all are. Guy in the purple
I'm the
polo
guy in the
shirt.
purple polo shirt.
Was this a tongue twister you all want us to join in with?
Who stopped to shake your hand on Waterloo Bridge yesterday evening.
Oh, that guy in the purple polo shirt, yeah.
After our brief chat, re pedestrian racing, I decided to pick up the pace and take on a few peripatetic commuters.
All the P's, the guy in the purple polo shirt.
My usual handicap of having stumpy legs was eradicated by the spring in my step I gained from meeting you, and I trounced my rival.
Oh.
I'm imagining that the screen of his phone is covered in spit from all his purple. Yeah, he was a very nice chap. Said nice things about the show, which I won't repeat, obviously, because we don't praise the show on the show.
No.
Just take right. Yeah.
He's Matt. Brummy
He
from
was
London.
quite Matt, yeah. Which I was
Not
glad,
glossy.
because it was quite sharp. It was, a sunny day, and he would have been dazzling had he not been Matt.
He says, where were you off to? And was that Kath who was
Well,
waving
now
to you
Matt's
from
getting
the
over
other-
familiar, frankly.
It's getting very personal. It sounds like the beginning of an investigation.
Yeah, it does. And now, that was Kath I was waving to on the other side of Waterloo Bridge.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not as close
Just
as we
on,
used to be.
on the other side of the bridge. Not the
Yeah.
other bank.
No, she just got off the bus. Yes, Frank Skinner's girlfriend gets the bus. What do you think, I've got money to burn? Yeah. Oh, good old Matt. He seemed a very nice chap. But, we anyone who praises us, we feel to be very nice. Am I correct?
Now he's got more stuff for his files. He knows what
Yeah,
Kath looks like.
exactly.
He knows where you were going. Oh, where
I
were you
imagine
going
he had
to?
a lapel camera.
Yeah.
Where was I going to? Oh, I was going to see Jerry Seinfeld
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
How was that?
At the O2. So it was all right. There's a man next to me who was the loudest clapper I've ever known. Now, I spoke to someone the other week who said that they'd split up with someone because they clapped too loudly.
It wasn't one of my exes.
No, and I thought, no, it certainly wasn't one of mine. And I thought, what do you mean by that? But I got an insight. This guy, I tell you what, I don't know if he used to work for Radio 4 Drama in the old days. It sounded like he had 2 coconut shells. And when I don't know if I can, I can't recreate it. I don't think another human could. But it went right down the side of my, not just loud, but it's like it went down the side of my neck. Like it was hitting a nerve thing in my neck.
Wow.
I was dreading Jerry Seinfeld saying something really funny, because I knew that it'd be like I got a woodpecker living within the wax of my
Was he a
ear.
large man? He might have had meaty hands.
No, he wasn't. He was one of the... He looked very like, he read The Guardian and that kind of...
Do you think he was a very good clapper, or do you think it was... You know how when you clap sometimes just by accident you do a really loud one and you don't know how you've done it?
No, but he was
and you think
frighteningly
he was-
consistent.
Oh.
It wasn't like the odd one that went off. No, it was right in there.
Wow.
Right in my ear. Inexcusable. But what can you say? You can't turn to someone at a gig and say, can you not clap, please?
Oh, I can. Very much so.
Yeah, well, I didn't. So 8, 12, 15, if you want to talk to us about anything at all, or want us to talk to you about anything that you've triggered off with a text, if you receive my meaning.
131 has texted, Frank, your clapping anecdote does not sound plausible.
Oh, we're off. There's only one way to follow that, and that's with Scooby Snacks by Fun-Loving Criminals. Sorry, have I fallen asleep and woke up on TFI Friday?
This is Frank Skinner
Absolute
Radio.
Sorry, we've put on big papier-mâché heads of you two to dance to that. That was, I've said who it was, Fun-Loving Criminals, etc.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my chair creaking. You don't want that on air, do you?
Oh, it's very Jacob Marley. I like that in you.
Yeah?
Frank,
Sounds like there's an old lady in the corner.
how dare you?
See?
Actually, it's not a chair, it's actually I've just worked out it's my spinal column. Oh, no. I knew there was a load of fluid in the seat of my trousers when I woke up this morning. Turns out it was all that stuff in between the discs that lubricate them.
You're going to need that.
Lactic, isn't
Oh,
it?
now I've got a spinal column like an old palm tree.
Are you just going to do this for the next 2 hours?
No, I'm not.
Frank, they're loving this dusty rain smell.
Oh, the dusty rain. I mentioned at the top, I mean, I'll be honest, as a filler, that that smell that when you're out in like a field or on a football pitch or cricket or something, and it rains, and it's not just the smell, because after the rain, there's a bit, if it's been hot and sunny, it feels like all the dust is in your lungs.
The particles,
you're completely permeated. It reminds me, I was once in a sandstorm with Terry Neal, the former Arsenal centre-half, and he wore full Arabic robes so that he could breathe all right. I mean... What about Moggins? I had to just choke it through.
Oh. Well, we've had a text in. I don't know who it's from, actually.
Do you think that's the first Terry Neal in a sandstorm anecdote there's been on Absolute Radio?
Yeah. I think it's also the first time anyone's ever discussed dust as a phone-in topic.
Or said, what about Muggins for a while? You should report them to the police as the answer to that question.
I went to a 1980s show this week, and ever since then I've been talking about Moggins.
This
Not
is
Moggins, as in attacks to get money. I mean, that wouldn't be funny. Can make that clear. Anyone who's offended at home, who's recently been mogged, forget about it.
Forget about it as one word. That's quite 1980s as well.
Forget about it.
Ben in Spain. I know that smell. It's as good as the smell of a fence freshly painted in wood preserver. You get the new smell a lot in Spain on the hot ground.
Yeah, I imagine mainly on the plane, according to my research of where it rains in Spain. He's on about that sort of cuprinol type smell, isn't it? Creosote smell for the wooden fence. That is lovely. I tell you what I like, an old cinema, that smell. Where does that smell come from? Because there's nothing really in a cinema that emanates the smell.
That's true. Eamon has said that smell of rain is called petrichor. Or petro... I don't know how you say it exactly, but Petrichor.
Really? It's got a name, that smell of rain that sort of gets in on your lungs a bit. It's called petrichor. It's fantastic. There's a smell called petrichor. Let's get me U2 head on. I'm loving it this morning. The listeners are in top form already. Oh, they're getting up pretty early in the morning. I suppose they would listen to an 8 o'clock radio show. I had two experiences on the south bank of the River Thames this week, both with Mickey Mouse.
No.
Yeah.
You don't often see him on the South Bank.
Well, this is not the same Mickey. This is two different Mickey Mouses.
Okay.
So the South Bank is the home of the street entertainer, but not ones who... Well, some of them do elaborate stuff, but a lot of them just dress up, and then people give them money for dressing up. It's a bit of a Lady Gaga approach. So I went past this Mickey Mouse, and there was a small child and her mother, the mother standing probably 8 feet back, giving the mouse a bit of room, and the mouse was squeaking. They have these squeaker things in the mouse, and pointing at his tin. And the mother was saying, tell him you've already put some in. Tell him you put some in. I thought, you tell him. And it was a horrible, sinister scene. This child was being threatened. Mockings, that's what I thought. That's what's going. No. But it was really, I didn't like it. And he was pointing at the tin, drawing attention to the fact that he had too many fingers to be Mickey Mouse. It was some sort of imposter.
Did he have the white gloves?
Did he not have?
He had the white gloves, yeah, but Mickey's got 3 fingers and a thumb, hasn't he, if you ever noticed?
And he doesn't extort?
He doesn't.
On the whole?
No, he never... Also, he can speak. The real Mickey Mouse does speak. Why couldn't he have, said... Put some more money in the tin there. Your previous contribution was insufficient. That would have been... That's actually hurt my throat a bit there. It's hurt my throat early on in this. See, the rodents, they've got a tougher larynx. And talk like that for years. Doesn't trouble them.
Oh, Frank, that's horrible. A terrible loss of innocence for you and the child.
But it was like the woman was... she was intimidated by the mouse and just let the child be devoured by its greed.
They needed a big cat, is what they needed.
That would have been great. A really big cat.
Really big cat.
I've never seen Mickey Mouse tussle with a cat, now you come to mention it.
No.
That's true.
He doesn't get involved in scraps.
No, but... well, I think when he's at the tip... he doesn't... He's not mouse-like at all. He speaks. I'm starting to think he isn't a mouse.
Actually, he's got a dog, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, how many times have you seen that? Is that to ward off cats?
Yeah, that's to keep the cats away.
No, now, of course, it will, mate. And then there was the other... Well, I'll tell you after.
There's more Mickey.
There's 2 Mickeys on the South Bank, which, for a start off, that isn't good for a child, because that's confusing.
Well, unless it's Mickey Rooney.
Well, it could be Mickey Rooney. No, well... Oh, well, I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
Frank on
Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
I'm keeping this child until you go away and bring me more money. Actually, that was a bit more Pinocchio in Shrek than it was. I haven't heard Mickey Mouse speak for ages.
Who has?
I think it's fair to say he's kept something of a low profile in recent years.
Wandering around in that old DJ with the tails.
Yeah, exactly.
Terrible style.
Wandering around with an old DJ. Keep my girlfriend Helen. She can do what she likes. So, oh yeah, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
So I was on about this Mickey Mouse incident I saw. Money with menaces. Is that the right word? Money with menaces. Is that the phrase? Mm. And then I saw there's another Mickey Mouse who stands. I mean, at least there's the decency to stand about 50 yards away, so the children. You might allow for a bit of short-term memory loss in a child and think, oh, there's Mickey again. But I went past the other day and it had the head off.
What, of a child?
yeah, one sort of karate chop. Turns out that the white glove has got like a razor edge down the little finger. Oh, gosh. No, it was, it had the head off, and I'll call it it, and it was like, I'd say it was a woman in her mid-30s inside, talking.
That explains the voice.
but she was talking in like an English accent, and I thought there's too much for the children here.
Well, it's against Disney regulations.
Yeah, it's not a mouse. That's the first big... Oh, whoa! It's not... Whoa! Hey, ho! It's not actually a real mouse. And it's female, English, loads, detachable head, loads of stuff you didn't expect. And I think that's wrong. When you see Mickey Mouse, you want to see Assos.
Yes.
You know what I mean? As seen on screen. That's
good use of Assos there.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want the real...
There are very strict rules against that as well, because it's trauma-inducing for children.
No, but there used to be what may have been an urban myth about someone a child who saw it happen at Disneyland, went round the corner of a wall for a junior cigarette, and there was a Mickey Mouse with the head off. I don't know if that's true, but these are unofficial characters. Let's face it. I mean, their outfits and even their heads are no more than a hodgepodge. So I think if Disney went down there, there'd be... Well, heads would roll. It serves them right for taking them off in the first place. On that identity thing, though, I was at the theatre recently, and who should be sitting in front of me but Helen Worth,
Oh.
who plays Gail in Coronation
I
Street.
know
if you don't
her
know.
work well.
And she was chatting away, and there was two women. One woman called across this other woman, Gail. Obviously the friend was called Gail, and Helen Worth looked round, and I thought, oh God, she sort of looked round in character. An exciting moment. I'm actually a little bit alive, Coronation Street in front of me.
I'd love it if she'd have got angry and said, look, I'm off duty, love. I'm an actress. It's a character I play.
Oh, I'd have loved that as well, but she joined it. I felt sorry for her, 'cause she'd look round on, it wasn't even her name. She'd be prepared to join in. OK,
Yeah.
I'm not called Gail, but I'll look round. I know what's going on here. Wasn't even talking to her. Terrible. Terrible.
Frank, I'll tell you what else is terrible.
Oh,
An
God, this could be a
accusation.
long list, couldn't it? I mean, the list of things that are terrible.
Well, this is an accusation that we got it wrong, or you specifically got it wrong, in the Not the Weekend podcast. Frank, in the Not the Weekend podcast, you referred to Stephanie Beecham being in Tenko. I think you might have meant Stephanie Cole, as the only shoulder pads in Tenko were on the officers of the Imperial Japanese Army.
Well...
There's no name, it's just 131.
Well, 131, who I think is a regular
one of our
contributor,
regulars.
you're wrong. Stephanie Beecham was definitely... Stephanie Cole was in it as well.
I've checked, and I can exclusively reveal you're correct, Frank.
Yeah, thank you. Well, Stephanie Beecham, I believe, made her name. I'd say
Yeah.
she made her name in Tenko. She didn't just appear in it. Wow. She stamped her identity right across that goddamn series.
Exactly.
Yes, all sweaty shirt. Yeah.
And, we've also had we had a mail from Adam who said, hi Frank, Emily and Big G. I don't know why I'm big all of a sudden. I mean, chicken wings with the Apprentice.
Capital
probably.
G meant, but he's reverted back to his early school days.
He said the email you got earlier about petrichor was from Doctor Who, so may not be true.
It was from Doctor Who.
Yes, but we've also had other... It is true. No, some things in Doctor Who are true. Not all of them,
yeah.
but some things.
Well, no, not all of them. That'd be terrifying. But no, there's certainly it's not a tissue of lies. If that's how you're seeing Doctor Who. I think you're being very unjust. Well, that's good to know. But why would it be from Doctor Who?
I think they mentioned it on an episode of Doctor Who recently. And he's
Well,
assumed
they mentioned
space.
clouds on a recent thing. Does that mean they don't exist? Silly.
We only have this extra. This is Frank Skinner
Absolute.
Radio.
Frank, can I tell you one of my favourite things that happened this week?
I'm sorry, there's no time. No, go on.
Well, it was a celebrity altercation.
Oh, it wasn't the mouse again, was it?
No.
It's on the rampage.
No. There were no grubby white gloves involved.
Good.
This was between Imogen Thomas. Oh, I had a shiver as I said her name.
Oh, Imogen.
Am I allowed
Are you
to say
allowed
her
to-
name? Yeah.
I
I think we
so.
could. I think we were always allowed to say her name.
Okay.
Didn't she damn well make sure of
yeah.
it?
Well, she's got into a Twitter row with the wife of a footballer called Jibril Cissé. Do you know him?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
He was quite a funny-looking man, wasn't he?
He was,
Still is.
he's exotic in appearance. He's one of those black men that goes for white hair.
That's it, yeah.
I don't mean like Uncle Ramos. I mean, he dyes his hair to look spectacular.
Well, just to give you a quick précis of events, Jude, she's the wag, Jude Cissé, said on Twitter, Imogen should shut up and remain dignified. To which...
Too late. Remain dignified. I think dignity is
She needs
way beyond. I'm
to claw it
surprised.
back, I think.
I bet she can't pick out her dignity in her rearview mirror. Especially if there's been a bit of petrichor.
Jude also said, affairs happen all over the world with every walks of life. Fact. That's what she said.
Well, that was dashed off in the heat of the moment. We'll allow her a bit of grammatical error.
To which Imogen replied, oh, jog on. Jog on.
Jog on is a phrase I'm not familiar with.
No. Well, Jude replied, get the violins out. Now, the one thing that I came away thinking was, what? Have they just, returned to the 80s? Strange insults you never hear anymore.
I haven't
Jog on.
get the violins out for a long time, accompanied with a mime as well, of a violin. I love that. Jog on. I don't know. I guess that means move along. Like when the police say move along.
Well, you know what it is, actually, another 80s thing. Oh, naff off. It's like naff off. It means that you want to swear, but you can't.
Well, jog on. No, jog on sounds like... It does sound like move along. She should have said, you're nothing but a gold digger. Oh, move along, madam. That's going to be the new thing, is like police jargon. Do you ever see any of those police stop, whatever they were called, those videos?
Oh, yeah.
There's one in that where he says, this bloke, and it says, a quiet day in Dagenham High Street until this character turns up. You see a bloke like doing a 3-point turn on a dual carriage. Oh, I love an old-fashioned insult, I must say.
Oh, I love them.
One that I remember having, and it must have been about 1990, but it was from a friend of mine whose dad was very into heavy metal, so into like Guns N' Roses and Bon Jovi.
He sounds horrible.
Yeah, and my friend he still had a mullet. Like,
bear in mind, about 85% of our listeners are 38-year-old men in black T-shirts at home now.
What were we playing next?
Dunlop green flashes, thinking, "Where's the white snake?"
I love our listeners.
White snake is a fortified wine, obviously, for those of you who don't know.
It was my friend Chris, and I'd gone to call for him, and I'd seen him say something to his dad as he was coming out, and he looked sort of quite pleased with himself, Chris, like he had something to say, and
it might have been a perfectly formed farewell of some kind. Goodbye.
And he said to me, he said, "My dad says you're a drip."
I love drip.
He said,
why are you
going to play with that drip?"
Oh, no. When was this?
1990. It must have been about 1990. I think I was about 10 or 11.
Yeah.
I mean, he had my card. He had
Yeah.
my number, but...
Did he have your card as well?
I gave him my card.
No,
You
he
should have
had...
given your card, you big drip.
I don't have business cards printed age 9, you drip.
No. Well, no,
Stop calling me a drip. Just because...
I know, I mean...
It's quite...
How can I say this? I know what he means.
Yeah, no, I know what he
I
means.
know what he means,
True.
but I mean, I don't know if he was saying it in a nasty way.
I don't know if I was a drip at that point, or I've built my whole persona around that.
That's it. You've self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
That was.
See, that's
But I see it's worth holding on. Even that's an old-fashioned insult. It's worth holding on to it if it's really opposite. I think I'd stick with it. Yeah. I haven't heard that. My Aunt Nora, my older sister, still calls me a silly article. Which I've never heard anyone else use that. And I was playing football once, and this guy I was playing with, there was a guy on the other side who was quite a big, aggressive chap, kicking people up in the air. And someone on our side said, "Oh, calm down, you moppet."
Oh, Muppet.
Yeah,
And
Muppet.
I'd never heard it before, and I thought, but I find the Muppets quite admirable. Do you know what I mean? They've always got a one-liner at the fingertips, musical. They've got all the talents. I thought that was incorrect. Anyway, what old-fashioned insults do you like? See, I just went in then to... good. It all went a bit Capital Radio.
I like that.
That's what we'd like to know. I say, what old-fashioned insights do you guys out there like? What are you doing this morning? What's up? You see? Now they're thinking, oh, this is proper radio at last.
I like Pillock, Frank.
Like Pillock
You
is
don't
good.
hear that enough.
No, that's
Pillock.
That's really gone. What with that and Moggins, it's been a hell of a morning so far.
This is Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Rope, Foo Fighters.
Sounded like a command.
We have a thing on this thing called idiotic eureka moments, when it takes you years to get a pun or get a joke.
Yeah.
And then you suddenly think one day, that's why they're called. It's from Kung Fu Fighters, is it?
Oh, is
Foo
that
Fighters.
right? Oh, I've only just got that as well.
I could be wrong, but it's just struck me. this chair, I'm going to have to change this chair during the news. People don't live.
The Foo Fighters are
It's
just
like,
stopping.
I feel that there should be an enormous whale featured later in the show. That'll be the captain having one of his midnight walks. Perhaps they can't hear it, but to me, it's a deafening creak.
Frank, our listeners are loving these 80s insults. We've had...
That's because they're 38-year-old men in black T-shirts who still use them.
Bert has suggested
These are
do
people that
one.
still shout albatross at gigs. Do you remember that? Sorry, Bert.
Bert has suggested do one.
Oh, do one was good, yeah. Do
I like
one.
Phil has suggested twerp.
Twerp. Actually, Nick Clegg was recently called a twerp by a Conservative MP.
Really?
Bit of retro.
Sid also would like
Sid,
to...
I mean, even his name. He's completely joined in. Tell Sid.
I'd throw Daft Apeth into the mix.
Daft Apeth. Now, Daft Apeth, my mum used to use that one. I believe it comes from half pennyworth, suggesting that you are a small quantity.
Oh.
Do you see?
Yes, I do see. And then, rather randomly thrown into the mix, is from Wayne, who sounds quite... He's a bit more 70s than 80s, perhaps.
Yeah.
Hi, Frank, Emily and Gareth. I found an old VHS tape of Games Master from 1994, which had Frank as a guest playing a football game. The game was close and then went to penalties, but that's when my tape runs out. Any idea who won?
Well, I'll check my journal. I have no... Oh, God, I just... Was that Dominic Diamond?
Dominic Diamond, Games Master.
I just barely remember doing... Was it me or was it Stephanie Cole? Honestly, that's a vague time. I never played games, really. Well, obviously, I played the bowling on my iPad, the 10-pin bowls. I love that. I'll tell you what happens on that, though. It's a great game to play if you're a comedian. Because when you get... sometimes I play the spares, which is like you have to get like 3 pins you have to knock down. And if you knock them down, the crowd go... Wah! And it's great, and the next one... Wah! And then if it misses, you just get... of the metallic thing, nothing, and it's great. It's like doing a gig. It really sends a shiver through you. Oh, it's lovely.
Frank, another 80s insult that, in fact, I saw this very morning, in one of the papers I've remembered. Chris Evans was referring to something as being a real pain in the backside.
Yeah, but he's more of a 90s man, I would say.
Early 90s, you're right.
And I like you big girl's blouse is one that my dad
God, that
uses
was
a lot. That's
massive.
from
Everybody.
916. Big girl's blouse.
Everybody used that. Where do they go, these phrases? I suppose it's all swearing now.
They go to Chris Evans' vocabulary is where they go.
It's all the swearing. I think he actually wears a big girl's blouse. That sort of polka
dot, yeah.
He goes in for... Ryan Giggs, I'm worried about him. I know he's had a tough time just lately, but he started to look like an East European torturer.
Yeah.
He does. He's really got sort of... He's suddenly got
aged.
grey and sallow.
Very
sunken
sallow. The
cheeks.
cheekbones.
Oh, man.
I'd say cadaverous.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's call the whole thing
I think
thin.
he should have a super injunction stopping people talking about what he looks like.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I bet he's on to the lawyer now. Dimitri, can you get... Ryan, is that you? I'm sorry, I've become East European torturer. You not see my face? Yeah, that's a strange thing. What else?
Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, do you?
Britain's Got Talent. Did you see it this week?
That's it, that's Cheggers Plays Pop.
What is that music?
But I think any 3-word TV programme title would... yes.
Well, there's been quite a bit of controversy, which I don't think we'll talk about.
No.
But...
The young lad with the chrysanthemum hairstyle. Hey, didn't he? Was he set up? I must say, he's a handsome young fellow.
He is, isn't he?
Oh, he's going to break a few hearts.
Lovely hair. Did you see the performance of Shrek, anyone?
Oh my goodness.
Just putting it out there.
Well, the
Do you know what? Sorry. Do you know
sorry, go on, you carry on.
what I felt about the performance of Shrek is all the performers looked as if someone had walked in on them doing it. It was like something that they thought they were going to do in private.
It was first rehearsal.
Yeah.
First try with the costume. And the thing is, they called down that giant, big, massive, green face and tan-eyed monster in the brown... and Ant says, so you're playing Shrek, right? No. No. You made a mistake. I'm Pinocchio.
And then Richard Blackwood came out, and those his thighs looked huge in that costume.
I know, he's great to see.
He was wearing donkey legs, I think.
Yes. He does all the donkey work, doesn't he? I saw him out in a donkey jacket. Do you still get those? It's gone a very retro, this one. I haven't heard the phrase donkey jacket since I started work and had to wear one, god damn it.
You lemon. No, Blackwood's back.
Yeah.
But Amanda, I thought she could sing.
Yes, she can.
I bet much better than when Cheryl did X Factor. I bet Cheryl was at home and she's had a bad week as it is. I bet she said, well, I am absolutely livid. And then Will.I.am says, did you call? No, I said, well, I am. Yes, here I am. Oh, just get out! Well, you're getting my nerves, you do that. Can I stand it on a moor?
This is Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
So Richard Blackwood trended worldwide on Twitter. So many.
That's amazing.
So many
Was he
people
killed somebody?
No, he was from being on Britain's Got Talent.
It's nice for him, though.
He was a bit of an addendum. He came on right at the end, didn't he?
With the giant haunches.
It's true.
Yeah, oh God, he's got giant haunches.
I know, he asked me out once.
Who
What?
did?
Richard Blackwood did.
Did he?
Yes.
And you said no?
Well, I'm sorry. I was young. I was a fool. We were both appearing on Liquid News. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I was doing a spot of media punditry.
Were you?
Yeah, with the late Robert Palmer. Richard Blackwood was also...
So many disclosures all at once.
This knocks my football game with Dominic Diamond into a cocked hat.
You were on Liquid News.
And with Robert Palmer, and then Richard Blackwood.
What
I
were
don't
you
know.
reporting about?
He
on
was.
Liquid News? I want to know all of the.
I wasn't reporting about. I wasn't outside the Houses of Parliament.
Were you outside that revolving sign outside of New Scotland Yard that people always stand in front of? What about someone says there's still a report from Scotland Yard? Should we not stand in front of the revolving sign? What are you, Annie? Not stand in front of the revolving? Get out of here.
No, it wasn't any sort
Do
of OB. Do one, will you? I was studio based with Robert Palmer. Anyway.
Robert Palmer this, Robert Palmer that.
He liked my boots, we bonded. Anyway, Richard Blackwood, he was in the green room. I think he might have been on another show, I'm not sure. And then he just started talking to me, and then he said he wanted media
Blackwood
advice.
Was in the green room. Was Joan Greenwood in the black room? Joan Greenwood, many of you'll know, is a formative figure in British theatre.
Richard Blackwood asked you for media advice. You didn't say anything about donkey, did you? Please, God.
Yeah.
So I gave him my business card, and then he started texting me. And he kept asking me over. But what was strange was that I say he asked me out for a date. He didn't ever ask me to go out. He said, I'll come over and pick you up, and then you will go back to mine, which I didn't think was, very respectful. So that's why I didn't go on the date with Richard Blackwood.
Also, you don't want to be out with Richard Blackwood and people are putting palm leaves in front of you. Little donkey, little donkey.
Yeah, no, he wasn't in it very much, but just...
He will be in the museum, and the donkey, I
Yeah.
think we'll agree, is a main feature of Shrek. Well, I'm going to the opening night, so I'll do a show
Are you?
report on that.
Wow.
Maybe with Robert Palmer, maybe with not. Maybe with Geoffrey Palmer. We'll see how it goes. Well, that's but you can text us on 81215, by the way. If
You've been asked out by Richard Blackwood.
yeah, exactly. Or if you're Richard Blackwood, it all counts.
Oh, that'll get ugly.
Yeah. Well, why do you say that? Imagine texting with it. He's probably had the hooves welded on for the run of it. But that is brilliant to be internationally trending on the strength of 3 minutes. That shows the power of Britain's Got Talent, doesn't it?
I love a comeback.
Oh, I love a comeback as well. My favourite was Kiss by Tom Jones, when Tom Jones was sort of just a silly old, and he came back, and when he says, I think I better dance now. And every time I did it, I used to say at home, think again. Because you're not going to dance, you're going to do, I don't know what that is. What you look like is that a bear has been shot by somebody with a knockout dart. and then they've forced it into a suit, and then when it's woken up, it's trying to struggle out of it. That's what that looks like. There's no dancing involved.
This is Frank Skinner.
Absolute
Radio.
We've had a text from 533. It says, Emily, the correct pronunciation of controversy is controversy, not controv. But
No, he means controversy, not controversy.
Controversy, not controversy. You spoon. That's
Yeah,
David
you drip.
from M4.
Ah.
You spoon.
Is that an 80s insult, or is that he's actually just calling you? It's difficult to tell because, you know, we get texted one-word 80s insults quite a lot. And so it's really hard to sift out.
Oh, we've actually had another one. Foo Fighters is to do with UFOs, you dipstick.
Again, can't tell.
No, can't tell. To do. I like the explanation though. It's to do with UFOs. Well, that's cleared that up.
So
Who
like
cares?
UFO.
I never liked the Foo Fighters after they did that video where they dressed as women on an aeroplane.
Really?
I don't like men with moustaches dressed as women. I don't. People think.
I think you're
that's
thinking of the Saturdays.
No, but people think, oh, that's
Oh my! What's happened? What's he done, Frank?
he's become a bit cutting edge. The drip has sharpened.
My new bad boy image.
Okay, I'm liking it. Well, I'm not one to talk about my good reviews on this show, but I had a review this week. I was virtually internationally trending on Twitter myself.
Wow.
Well, there was a tweet which said was nice about me.
Ah.
It began like this. I have it here. I have it verbatim.
Okay, don't get all legal.
Someone say, actually, it's verbatim, you wazzock. This was... it began, that was the strangest haircut experience. Right? Mm. So actually, this is from the 19th century. It's a post-Sweeney Todd tweet. No, and it says that...
Was that Simon Cowell saying that?
Yeah. That was the strangest haircut experience. Frank Skinner in the chair next to me, entertaining the whole shop. Very funny.
Oh, wow. Frank, that's
good.
Great.
So I don't read the Twitters, but my girlfriend, she does the
tweets, darling.
Yes.
The tweets.
Okay, sorry. She does the... No, the Twitters is... it's a novel by Beryl Bainbridge. And I don't read it, but it's around. No, but my girlfriend, she does the Twitter search, and she says, "Oh, I heard you were holding court," is what she said. Well, she doesn't use that phrase. She's took that she's picked it up and run with it. But I was, and it turns out, so she tells me, that it's not just a man in the street or a man in the hairdressers. It's Steve Denyer, who works for Heart FM.
Oh,
I say Denyer. It's D-N-Y-E-R. It could be Denier.
Oh, the producer might be familiar with his work.
Actually, it could be a denier, because after his third tweet, I heard a cock crow.
Oh, very good.
3 tweets and a cock crow.
That's excellent.
I'm calling it the morning chorus. Yeah, so Steve... Emma will know, because she's a radio person. Do you know Steve Denyer, Emma?
No.
Well, that's not good for him, because that's very much your world.
Yeah, it is. Well, anyway, it was very nice of... Could it be like... Is he the man who invented the 10 Denyer stocking?
Oh, well, I'd love to meet him then.
You know when you see stockings or tights and it says something like 25 Denyer? I've never known what that meant, but he's obviously... He's a bit like the Richter scale as far as a nylon hosiery is concerned, Steve Denyer. He's also works on Heart FM.
So was this a barber's just for DJs? Or was anyone allowed?
I've been in a barber's in Korea that was just for DJ. I know that wasn't DJs. No, I didn't. He didn't announce himself. He's from Heart. Personally, I wouldn't want to work for a radio station that was named after offal. But but it was lovely. So if Steve Denyer is listening, which he probably was, he does drive time. So I imagine he's probably live on a Friday night somewhere where he's holding both hands in the air and getting people. He's probably turning it down on Hi-Ho Silver Lining. And then the crowd go, "Oh, Silver." I'm seeing Steve now in a baseball cap with the clapping hands when you pull the strings. Yeah, so it was very sweet of him anyway. And I shall be using that. Very funny. Heart FM. It's going to be on my posters. Yeah, who knows what context it was in. That's fine by me.
Frank on
Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
That's Florence and the Machine, Rabbit Heart. Which I think that's like Rabbit Heart FM. Which is a bit like, you get Absolute 80s, which is all that 80s music. Rabbit Heart FM is very rabbit-themed.
Bright Eyes, Paul Simon.
Yeah, that's... Art Garfunkel, if you don't mind.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Paul Simon had nothing to do with it.
Made a fool of myself.
Yeah, but thank God we got it out there before we had 58 texts from our listeners calling us...
Lemon.
Yeah, exactly.
So, big news. They're going to fine you in Barnsley for swearing in the street. If
What,
swear
you,
in
Frank
public.
Skinner?
Yes, they've had enough.
Well, they've been threatening it for a while, I'll be honest with you. No, I think that's right.
Do you?
Do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a massive fan of swearing, but I don't like it when there's people,
No.
you don't know, other people aren't.
And
Oh, women
people
and
don't have a
children.
choice.
Well, not just women and children. I don't like it in the street, loudly.
Well, campaigner
I
Phil...
don't mind it whispered hogger mogger in the street, I don't mind that. But when I hear people swearing, I think they're quite common.
Campaigner Phil Davis from Barnsley Voice, which represents...
Regional news presenter.
Yeah.
It represents businesses in the town centre.
Ah.
He said, there is nothing wrong with swearing, I do it every day.
Huh?
Sounds like some sort of
I think the
regiment.
Barnsley voice is one I don't want to be hearing.
Swearing. I do it every day, but it's when it is targeted at someone.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't mind when it just disappears into the ether. I don't like it either way.
No.
Targeted or untargeted in a public place.
It's like sneezing, you shouldn't do it at someone.
No.
And I think that's. I saw something this week that I found appalling public behaviour and made me.
Was it Shrek on Britain's Got Talent?
She can really sing, that woman.
She's got a nice voice.
Very unique.
I saw Amanda in Sweet Charity.
Oh, yeah.
Shop.
No, in a sweet charity shop. Yeah. No, and she's a talent. I think, Cheryl Cole they call the national treasure. Maybe it should be Amanda Holden. She's a national treasure. She's very reminiscent of the Staffordshire Horde.
Sorry.
Horde.
Sarah. Okay, right.
Horde.
Well, I made a terrible mistake as well because I thought Nigel Harman was Shrek. I thought, he looks a bit
the
funny.
Nigel.
Yeah.
Could have been. No, we went to the park with Ethan this week, and it's partly being a parent, you see things in a new way. We went to the park, and there were two, they must have been 16, 17-year-old boys playing tennis over the fence of the park. So it was the fence around the park, and they were playing, one was either side of the fence.
How high is this fence?
Like, probably, tennis net size.
Oh.
But, properly whacking the ball into the park, where there are children playing.
Well, hold on. Ball in park scandal. That's fair enough, isn't it?
No, but the thing was, it's very dangerous for one thing, and it was a children's park by the children's swings, little children scampering around.
Yeah.
And on the fence, there was a no ball game sign.
Well, where were you, 1973?
You are not supposed to... There's also
Okay.
a don't talk to strangers sign, which was very...
So you couldn't even tell them about it?
No.
That's annoying, isn't it? Did you tell them about it?
No.
Oh, well, you were scared, am I right?
I was scared of it.
Oh,
Drip.
yes.
The ball was going very fast.
You'd have got short shrift, is what I think, which is a tennis shot. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Charity
Yeah.
shop. It's a charity shop for miniskirts. No,
Short-
that's thrift. Thrift store is
A
what I'm
short
thinking of.
shift, maybe,
Short.
could be a sort of short underwear. Oh, shut up. By the way, Sandy War, who reads the news for us and the travel, told me that petrichor is the code word for reactivating the TARDIS.
Is that
That
right?
explains why it keeps appearing.
Yeah.
The honour of the...
So, yeah, because I said it earlier, and I heard this... and look round. Yeah. But there you go, you see. You think that she's all serious because she reads the news, but no, she's a Who fan.
Wow.
DW.
She's no Richard
Added a
Blackwood.
whole new element.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll tell you what public behaviour I'm not partial to. Children chasing and trying to kick pigeons. I see that a lot, and parents don't seem to reprimand them for it. It really winds me up. I'm thinking of splashing out some money on some quite flimsy, just outer shells of pigeons, which I can fill with wasps. So when the child gives it a mighty hoof, they're completely encased, like that man in the wasp beard advert on the telly. Maybe then they'd think twice, or even 3 times, about doing it again. I'd like to know, if I was a proper DJ, what our listeners, what public behaviour annoys them and they think should be punished.
I'm picturing you in your workshop fashioning the case of a pigeon and then trying to fill it with wasps.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a
one.
They'll go
let's
straight.
do it. Should we do it?
They'll go straight from a tube into the rear of it. I won't be handling the wasps. What do you think I am, stupid? The other thing I don't like, public behaviour that gets on my nerves, is getting in my way.
Oh dear.
Yeah. You know,
Just in general in life.
Just some people. I know people walk slowly, some people, but you get. I mean, somebody with a large behind and 2 carrier bags, they're like a mobile human cul-de-sac. You can't get round those people.
It's a big obstacle.
I didn't do this, but I honestly toyed with the idea. There was a very slow-moving family in front of me. It was parents and a child holding both their hands. So they took the whole pavement.
The whole pavement area.
So parent on each side, child in the middle holding hands. And I toyed with the idea of leaping the child. I could have gone over it easy, it was quite short. But imagine the parents' horror when a man came over the child's head from behind them. Oh, they'd think it exploded. It'd be like Alien or something like that. This is a very fine track.
We only have this excerpt. This is Frank Skinner.
Absolute
Radio.
That was Metronomy.
That's some funky bass.
Well, yeah, with The Bay, which someone should bet on. You know that? I put my money on the bobtail nag. Somebody bet on the Bay. Do you know that from Doodah Doodah?
eBay, is it?
Yeah, it's
on
you
eBay.
know, the Camptown ladies sing this song. Doodah.
Frank, you were
What?
talking about... Oh, right, calm down. You were talking about public behaviour, or we were, that we found a little offensive. And you were specifically talking about families that walked in front of you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I don't like. I actually would say, I'd go so far as to say men shouldn't be allowed to walk in groups of more than 2. Because 3 men, they block it. They block the pavement.
Yeah, it is.
And then I feel like more than 2 is a gang. And I don't want to
It's a
navigate the
bit,
T-birds.
it's a bit the boys are back in town, isn't it? You feel that wherever they go, those men, they should have a small speaker playing the boys are back in town. Yeah. No, it's quite intimidating. When you walk down the road and I see 3 men, I look desperately for a woman amongst them, because that normally means peace.
Well, I look desperately for a man. But that's another story.
Yeah, but if men walk in groups like that, you know...
They need to be responsible.
And they're going to be, you know, trainers' jeans and maybe even a baseball cap.
And don't laugh loudly either. That irritates me.
No, that's threatening.
Yeah.
Any kind of raised voice,
Yeah.
I'm frightened to death.
Or signs of happiness.
Yeah. Of course, there was a 16th century French writer who said that London was just one long shout, which I always liked.
Frank, you know you said you didn't like Hi-Ho Silver Lining. Well, you were being a little disparaging
I didn't
about
say
it.
that. I said it's a thing that DJs do.
Okay.
They take that bit down and everyone sings along.
OK, well, James says, Frank, you were at a Millennium Party, a New Year's Eve party, 1999, along with another celebrity. I was the DJ, playing Hi-Ho Silver Lining and getting the crowd to sing the chorus while lowering the volume. You were standing behind me on the stage, dancing and happily joining in. Guilty pleasure, perhaps? Love the show, James.
Oh, well, I remember that night, because that was, it was dry, that party. It was a sort of alcoholics welcoming the millennium. Wow. Fun. Was it fun? No, it wasn't. It was tedious in the extreme. But
But
yes.
you were doing your best.
I was trying, I was trying.
get it
You know,
going.
when you're sober, you really try hard to pretend you're enjoying yourself. But of course, as you know, enjoying yourself when you're sober is almost impossible. In any context, what we were stuck with it. But I remember that.
You were partying like it was 1999.
Yeah, it was 1999 actually.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about that shirt I had on. Yeah, 1999 from. I'd have given them 20, but you know, they said not 1999. I hung around for the change.
This is Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
That was Somewhere in My Heart by Aztec Camera. You might notice a slight catch in my voice. I don't want you to think I've got very emotional about the Aztec Camera track. I was completely indifferent to it, cold even. But this is a bit of an emotional moment on the Frank Skinner Absolute Radio Show, because I feel I am having a limb removed. Gareth is about to say goodbye.
Yes.
Timing as impeccable as it has been
Oh, was that me?
the previous 2 years.
Gareth!
What a drip. No,
Yeah,
yeah.
the drip has finally been stopped. I told that plumber.
No, I've decided to leave the show. It's been a really difficult decision, but I'm at a point where I think I need to concentrate on my stand-up comedy. I know, and no. So goodbye. I'd like to make a speech. You like that?
That wasn't it.
No,
There's more.
that was premature.
Sorry.
If you can put that on loop, does it go on repeat?
Um,
You'd know how to work the desk by now.
yeah, I've worked that out. 2 years. Cheap.
I want
no.
to hear the speech because I
Yes.
might be mentioned.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, well,
I'm really hoping that you're
Put some
a
extra
very
bits in.
noticeable absentee.
can be oh no. I'd like to just thank everyone on the show for having me. Thank you, Frank. It's been such an amazing opportunity. Like, when you start off, and I'm going to be serious, okay?
Oh, God.
I know you're going to say no change there, but it's so difficult starting comedy. You feel like a drop in the ocean, and for someone to help
a drip
in the ocean, and for someone to support you in the way that you have and had me on the show, it's been absolutely amazing.
Oh, God, I'm
It's
going.
been an incredible,
going. I'm
it's been
slipping away.
an incredible comedy
It's as far as
apprenticeship.
£18 a shot.
And
I've got that petrichor moment when my eyes are watering.
I know you've fought for me to be on the show at times. No, it'll grow on people. Don't worry, it'll grow on people. He's not a wazzock.
I'm not foolproof. in my
Maybe a
opinion.
bit of a drip. So thank you so much. It's been an incredible experience.
Well, I'm starting to think now we should have just not mentioned it and got someone else playing Gareth next week, like they did with Lucy in Neighbours. Maybe Melissa Bell could have come in. What do you think, Gareth? Well, I was saying to Laura the other week. Well,
Down at Lassiter's.
sounds like Melissa Bell.
Emily, you've been the good-looking big sister I never had. Thank you so much for looking after me. Like you look after everyone. You're such a lovely person.
I'd have said mother.
Mother?
You were still, even at this stage, you were frightened to say mother.
Gutted like a pig. No, it's the big sister I've never had, and bossing me around, pulling my hair.
Are you sure this
Dreadful.
isn't a bit of an over-response to just one appearance on Russell Howard? I don't want you to think now it's just easy all the way. There are ups and downs in this crazy old world of show business.
I'd like to thank the people who laugh in the background. Emma, you've been amazing. Daisy sent a lovely text explaining it, and Rosanna. Thank you, everyone. And most of all, I'd like to thank the listeners. 339, you've been amazing. 278, 131.
131 has just texted in. Sorry to see you go, Gareth. It's been a lot of pun.
Oh,
It's been a lot of time at last.
miss you most of all, 131. 450, 611. 533. Oh, 670.
Well, I'm surprised you mentioned 670 after the incident.
We'll miss you so much,
Walked under the
Gareth.
bridge.
No, we
thank
will. We
so
will
much for
miss you,
having me.
Gareth. At least we'll always have,
Saturday morning!
which I think we
You
might keep
continue
with
to
your
use that?
permission
Okay.
as an eternal jingle. Well, it is quite. It's an emotional moment, but you're basically saying that you're leaving to spend more time with your family, which usually accompanies a super injunction. doesn't it?
No one's allowed to talk about why I'm really going.
No, don't say that, or people will think it's going to be
No,
something.
it has.
Anyway,
been
Gareth,
amazing.
despite this emotional farewell, will be on Not the Weekend podcast
Yeah.
available. It's a bit like, when you've been on holiday and made friends with someone, you give them a big hug at the airport, and then they're at the taxi rank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. But no, we will miss you terribly.
We really will.
We've been here from the beginning, and we've sort of, you know, it is like a little family. So it's terrible. But hey, we'll still we'll come and see your show and make remarks.
We might even come to Bournemouth.
I'm not committing. Oh, so anyway, next week it'll be me, Emily, and Cheryl Cole, who was at a loose end. And people said to me the accent won't work. I don't agree. I think it'll be absolutely fine. Ben Jones is next, and Gareth, goodbye, and God bless you, my friend.
Thank you.
And
Goodbye.
Thank you so much. And not now, Tina. It's a bit appropriate, isn't it?
This is